Just got random chords put over here. I love it. I love it when I'm sure if you guys have kids, when you guys give your kids maybe, I don't know, a charger of some sort or a charging block and it comes to you in pieces, it's always interesting. All right, so let's dive into it. It's Tuesday, new week. It's actually winding out April. I can't believe it. We're getting closer to that middle of the year, and I can't really believe how quick this year's going. But yeah, let's dive into it. I like to start with the economic calendar, and it's not a lot of expectations this week for volatility. We really don't have much. If you have checked it out, there's a little bit on the Japanese yen side, but I mean, that's realistically it. When we look at it over here, hold on, let me mute my phone. And if you guys hear me go mute for a second, it's just because I'm coughing. I'm on the tail end of this stupid cold that I had. I think right now it's just like that little post-nasal drip, but really this is the only thing that I see that's going to give us a little bit of volatility, and that's going to be sometime tomorrow. I always love every time there's the yen comes out with some kind of monetary policy, it's always tentative, always. I don't really think there's going to be a lot of volatility in it, and if you look at the rest of the week, there's really nothing. GDP maybe moves indices just a hair, but I don't think it's going to be anything crazy, and it's not like they're projecting. I mean, you could see last quarter, it was 6.9%. They're only projecting a 1.1% increase this year, this quarter. So, I mean, yeah, if we can't nail a 1.1% increase, I mean, maybe the market has a little bit of a reaction to it. But other than that, I don't see anything that's really going to give us any kind of huge volatility. Going forward, I mean, I feel like a broken record. I could probably play the beginning first minutes of my last 4 or 5 weekly Zooms. I am still bullish US dollar. All right. So if I'm bullish US dollar, that means that I have to be bearish on the euro. So, GU shorts. Hopefully you guys saw, I had a little time on my hands. My oldest daughter was playing volleyball, and unfortunately, my middle daughter suffered an injury the week before, so she's out for about 3-4 weeks. She's got a cast on her foot, so sucks. But so I had some time on my hands this weekend, and threw out that little, I don't know, like a 15-minute video on the GU shorts that we caught last week. Hopefully, that kind of just gave you an idea of like the thought process that I use, or the thought process that I kind of go through in reading the market, especially a live market. It's one thing to back test, and I wouldn't say I don't talk down to back testing one bit, because I do a crap ton of it. But yeah, if it was helpful, I'm hopeful it was. And yeah, if you did catch, either of those two moves, man, I'll tell you what, if you caught that 1 second, congrats to you, kudos. I kicked myself. I mean, most of the guys that were watching that were live with me, the minute I saw that, I knew we were done. I knew we weren't coming back. And yeah, it was just unfortunate we didn't get it. But yeah, hopefully that worked. So, GU shorts, EU shorts, AU shorts, NU shorts, and then everything, dollar chef, dollar CAD, dollar yen, looking for buys right now. I think the yen, I got probably about a 200 pip move before I can start looking for buys. But I mean, this is kind of what I was looking at to start the week. I'm really just sticking with the majors just because the dollar is really driving it. EG's in there a little bit as well, but EG's kind of in the middle ground of what I want to do. So I'm waiting to see which way we go with it first. Overall, I'm bearish on it, but I'm not ready yet to commit to sells where it's at. So, but common theme is this, right? I mean, dollar's been just driving everything, and seeing what the dollar's been doing and really being able to analyze and kind of game plan where the dollar is going to kind of pivot from and react has really helped us really dive into EU and GU and stuff like that. I did see a lot of people did catch EU, the shorts on EU. I think it was Friday crossover coming into New York market provided a really good entry. I unfortunately was done kind of trading, that and, holding a really nice GU trade from the day before that I want to say is like at a 1 to 115, 1 to 120 right now. So, yeah, we'll kind of dive into it, kind of take a look at why and kind of the circumstances behind why I'm looking at the market the way it is. If you guys have any questions, throw it in the chat. If you guys have, especially on YouTube, if you have something, if you want to take a chart, if you want to give a look at a chart, just toss it in the chat. On YouTube, you can't throw it in the chat. So just copy the actual file name, throw that in the chat, and I'll just open it up. So with that being said, yeah, let's dive into it. NAS 100. Yeah, man. If you listen, I was trying to short the damn indices today. I was looking for the buying opportunity first, just in case it presented it, and really didn't get the confirmation. I did get into a buy. We'll go through it, but I did get into a buy in SPX. Actually, Kevin, I know you're on. I got into a hedge buy on SPX. Took some partials, went to go hedge the sell, and it missed me, bro. It missed me. So, but I am in US 30 sells, so which I'm happy about. It's nothing crazy. I think it's like last time I checked, it was like at a 1 to 10. So it wasn't anything ridiculous. But when you're selling from the bottom, a 1 to 10 is always a great thing, especially when it doesn't give pullbacks. So we'll get into it. We'll look at some crypto. We'll look at BTC as well. BTC is kind of in a really good area. It's either actually at the make or break area right now for me. So, but we'll kind of take a look at it. Dollar index, right? Going to what the dollar was doing. I think last week we were, somewhere down here, right? And my expectation was that we were coming back into this reaccumulation, right? I wanted to see the dollar, essentially come back into my buy area, which, bam, she did it. And then what did she do? Ultimately she accumulated and off to the races we went. So it was a really good analysis. The idea behind it was extremely, extremely clean. And you didn't find the hedge. I was running around all day. Yeah, listen, I'll tell you right now. So was I. I mean, I was doing a couple Zooms, and I got gotta make sure my wife doesn't hear, but I got 2 more graphics cards in. So I was busy testing them out, making sure, trying to get some good overclocks on them. And yeah, I mean, I had it up on the big screen here, and I just happened to, I had all 3 indices on a 15-second time frame, and was just following, and I saw it happen. I kind of hit my alert and went off to the races and went. But yeah, we'll take a look at it. Yeah, absolutely. And good. Yeah, let it run, man. Let it run. So, from a order flow leg perspective, right, where dollar index is currently at right now, I mean, this is our leg right up here. So what do I want to see price do? I want to see price come back into this area right here. This is what I want to see. Whether or not we have a reason or we get price to come back and mitigate into this area, your guess is as good as mine. I can only look at potential areas where, for the low, I can only look at potential areas where, for me, it would make sense to ultimately work in buys, right? And this is the area I'm looking at, right? Specifically, this reaccumulation right here has my peak interest. But I don't trade the dollar on itself, right? All of the brokers that I trade with don't offer a low spread on this. So it's not advantageous for me to do it. But at least if I know what the dollar's doing, then I know exactly what Euro USD is doing, right? So, ideally, if we can get, I've got an alert. Actually, I got the alert right there. If we can get a pullback, great. But until we get a pullback, right, I'm just going to play the continuation moves. And the most recent continuation move, and it's unfortunate. We were looking at it this morning that Frankfurt did not sweep Asian liquidity, but I got a feeling they're going to come back for it anyway, So at this point, if dollar can kind of come back into this most recent reaccumulation here, potentially that's where the next buy is going to come out of. And we'll kind of look at EU and take a look at see exactly how that's going to play into that. Looking over at EU, I don't even need to get up to the higher time frame, right? We are massively bearish, but to get to the higher time frame, Does anybody remember what my expectation was as far as where Euro USD was going to take? And I was pretty adamant that we were going to trade below this bad boy right here. So that was my next take profit. So the orders that I'm holding from here, and I believe I worked one in here. I did get this, but then I got taken out. So I was a little disappointed, but all these orders in here are anywhere between 1,000 and like 1,200 pips in profit now. So, we have swept this low, which is exactly what I was, my expectation. That's where my target was. I'm pretty happy with, the progression. My oldest trade that on the books from Euro USD was back in the end of July. So, I've been really holding them long term, which is great. The R to R on them has been just fantastic. So, that was the emphasis, that we were going to trade below here. And potentially we can see price start to give us a pullback, but I don't think we're going to see that until we get into this right here, right? Until we get into that right there. So the area that I'm looking is probably another 100 pips down before we really have a reason for price to start showing signs of accumulation. All right. We're still here. Hopefully everyone kind of understood why when we did this. For me, this did not signal a buy signal for Euro USD, right? For me, this was just the mere shakeout, right, of our redistribution, okay? And so obviously, if we do get a pullback from my smallest form of order flow, right, because this is now the new order flow leg sitting right here to right here, okay? The two areas that I'm most definitely going to be looking for positions out of are going to be in these green boxes, right? This is our manipulation. This is my slingshot that ultimately causes it, right? So I'll be looking for distributions in here. If for some reason Euro USD decides to give us, some kind of pullback, I don't think the dollar is going to let up. I think the dollar is just going to keep going. If it does, great. And I'll look for that. Okay. So these are the two areas that I'm really going to be focused on. And it encompasses, ultimately our shakeout, right? This is the move that needs to be mitigated. And when we measure out the entire play, right? So here's the 80%, here's the 50%, coming out of that slingshot, or the cause of the break, is this manipulation that happened during a news event. So those are the two areas that I'm really going to be focused on. If we do not get that, right? If we do not get price to get us into that area, then, what's our play, right? So play the continuation move, just like a lot of you guys did catch that, that entry. Where was she? She was, oh yeah. Those of you guys that caught this right here, kudos to you, man. So this entry right here, right? I do believe this was it on, where is the 22nd? No, yeah, it was right here. This is what you guys caught. Kudos to you for catching it, right? Play the continuation move. Here's the redistro. It was a shame that, if you did catch it, great off the 80%. I honestly had my limit order, and I just forgot to freaking add it into my order. So it is what it is. I had it on the PSC. I just, I guess I thought I hit my hotkey to turn it on to put the order in, but nope. The DXY is entering a previous weekly distro. Did that distribution do anything though? The DXY is entering a previous weekly distro. Where's your distro though? Yeah, what's the distro that we're heading into? Can I look at ECAD? I cannot look at ECAD. It's physically impossible. I've requested that TradingView take ECAD off of my tickers, so I can't even look at ECAD, man. So if you're talking about this, this is absolutely of no importance to me. And if you're talking about this, Well, when price broke this low to confirm this distribution, and this was the test, they came into 80% of this, then we should have made that low. And the failure to make that low is telling me that this right here is going to be a reaccumulation. So I am not holding my breath 1 minute for this right here to sell off until we trade above this high. So, I mean, that's just my personal opinion, right? I'm not a financial advisor. I just trade my own. So for me, I could care less about anything up here. I'm pretty confident my targets on dollar index will be to trade above this high right here. I want to get above that like 104 range. And you can already see if we add in Euro USD, which is right, the diametrically opposed asset to the dollar index. If we add in Euro USD and we invert it, right? You can already see that we have traded where we have not traded above this high right here. Let me throw it up on BAM. Where we haven't traded there yet, we have already done it on Euro USD. So without a doubt, we are most definitely going to trade above it. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, we'll look at ECAD later, man, but I'll tell you, I don't trade ECAD. I haven't traded ECAD in probably a year. So I have no desire to trade ECAD. So if you got something, if you want to look, just throw your chart in there. I'll take a look at the chart. But yeah, ECAD is not here. So anyway, going back to Euro USD, right? Let's look at what this beast is going to be doing for us here. Hold on. So like I said, yeah, anybody that did catch that sell from here, congrats. You guys are in some massive profits. I know a couple of you guys that messaged me on it. You know, you guys are probably sitting, what is she at? Like, well, when she broke that low where I was expecting, I mean, 200 pips in profit, that's a nice little 1 to 22. If you played it off the redistribution in there and came in with that 3 pip stop, you're even in better shape than that. So what I'd be looking at though, and this is something that I kind of was watching this morning, to confirm the redistribution, right? It's pretty simple. We have now essentially done this, broken that low. The distribution sitting right up here is now what is maintaining this order flow leg. So what I'm going to be looking for is I'm going to be looking to see, can we get back into this area right here? Can we come up to this area for me to ultimately catch a sell, right? And if we don't, how else can I get into this? Well, we can already see the accumulation starting. So ideally what I'd be waiting for is something on the longs of this, have another redistribution, play the continuation play. Come on back. I'm a seller from here if and when we redistribute. So that's ultimately how I'm going to get back into EU. And of course, if we end up breaking order flow on EU and trade a little bit higher, all right, no biggie. You know, I'll play it out of structure all day long. You know, that's how I'll kind of look at it, and I have no problem taking it out of there. So that's my plan for EU. That's how I'm going to attack it. Going over to GU, right? Did anybody catch any of the shorts on GU this morning? Nobody caught the GU shorts. All righty. Nobody caught the GU shorts. Okay, no worries. We'll bring it up. So actually here, you know what? Let me. There we go. I'll see if you guys can actually see it. Same thing, right? I mean, the shorts that we ended up catching last week, massive profits, right? Just fantastic. Again, what was my target? My target was to take this low right here, right? So I actually took some profits today when we broke 127. I really enjoyed that move. And what's my target? My target is, you know, I'm going to be holding everything I can get into. I'm holding, take out this low. And that's for me. I'm looking to go below like the 115 mark on GU. So you were looking, but you couldn't find it. All right. So we'll go through it. No worries. We'll go through some GU shorts from this morning. Happened during New York session. So hopefully I'm not going to beat dead horse to death, right? You guys can watch the video on the GU shorts from last week, right? So let's give it a look. Let's see what we had. And, ultimately, obviously, if we came back and played into, previous redistribution, all is good. But what do we have, right? What do we have present right here? So everybody should see the redistribution, correct? Everybody sees that redistribution. Once we trade below here, right, confirms the redistribution. And ultimately what I was looking for was what? I was looking for price to come back into this to sell off, right? You see it, Kevin? She's there. I'm going to see if anybody else can see it. Can anybody else see the redistribution? Can anybody see the entry today during New York session? Here, I'll tell you what. Hold on. Let's go like this. Hold on. All right. Let's see. All right. Anybody else see today's entry out of a redistribution? Play the continuation move. Yeah, there you go, Lewis. Actually, so you're really going to hate this. There was 2 entries in there. All right, you ready? Let's get into it. Let's look at today's price action. Let's look at today's price action. So listen, remember this, and I think I talked about it last week. Maybe I'm going to make like t-shirts made up over some. So there's 2 ways you get into a trade, right? You get into a trade off a pullback, you get into a trade off a continuation move, right? Price doesn't give you the pullback, play the continuation move. You see the redistro? All right, so here we go. Ready? There you go. So can everyone see how we have a type 1 accumulation, right? This being your spring. So once price creates that spring and then we break the high, price should have been respected by this right here, right? We should have gone higher. So when price does this, right, that right there is the 100% definitive example, confirmation, whatever you want to call it, of a redistribution, right? All right. So out of that redistribution, there we go. Out of that redistribution, what do we have? So if you measure your manipulation is what? This right here, right? If you measure that, you'll see here's our 50, here's our 80%. That's our sell area, right? That's our sell area. Out of that sell area, now what? So let's figure out what price action's doing, right? Out of that sell area, can everybody see? Well, let me ask you this, right? So would I have taken a 14 pip stop loss off of a 15-second redistribution? Never in a trillion years would I have done that, right? Not to say you can't do it, right? I mean, if it's something that fits your trading plan, take it. I'm not saying that's a bad thing to take it because, I mean, it lines up with the right, understanding and analysis. However, I just can't justify that taking it, right? For my margin requirement, for the equity I'm staking, for the time spent in playing this, no, it's not going to work. However, if you're not going to take it because of the stop loss, what do you have to wait for? Or what should you wait for in order to get into this trade? And yeah, a couple of you guys, Ruben, you got it, right? Micro distro, wait for a micro distro. So let's look at price action here, right? Let's go 5 second, because I think 5 second really will put it into perspective. So can everyone see that we have a type 1 distribution, right? You have your climax, your test, your up thrust, another up thrust, right? All right, we'll make it that 4, and then your UTAD, right? Does that make sense? And we have a UTAD. And then what does that UTAD do? Well, if this is your high and this is your previous high, this is your low, that's your break. So on a confirmed distribution, take the trade, right? Take the trade. So simply, I just measured out this. Here's your 50. Here's your 80. That would be a 2.3 pip stop. All right. Now, out of that 2.3 pip stop, what do we see? Well, when price makes a new low within that, what have we essentially just done? Do we not have another distribution which breaks a low, comes back to mitigate the previous distribution, and then leaves a distribution right there? And if you've never seen a 1 second schematic, here she is. And lately, GU's been pushing him out, right? She's been pushing him out. There. Come on. There is your 1 second distribution, right? Trading range. 1 drive, 2 drive, 3 drive, 4 drive, 5 drive, right? What do you notice? None of them are breaking structure. 6 drive UTAD. That's your UTAD. There's your break. That's all she wrote. Measure that out. There's your 50. There's your, actually, I think it does come to the 80. Hold on. Does it come to the 80? Oh, it does come to the 80. Does it? Hold on. Oh, no. Wow. It would have missed the 80. Okay. So it comes to the 50. You know, you could have honestly have played this right here, getting triggered in that. And then I don't know if you guys can see, but we got another schematic right here, right? This being your UTAD. Once you break here, price come back to the 50% of this? So I actually missed another entry out of this. I didn't even see that on here. But yeah, all day long, there she is. You know, that's your price action. So you had ultimately, you know, the one entry off of this larger. You had a second entry that, you know, definitely could have taken out of this area right here. And I mean, you could see it was just a split entry. You know, played off the 50 with a 3.3 pip stop, and then get a little dangerous here with the 1 second off of a 0.9 pip stop loss. And to current price where we traded to, which was I think like 25.70, right? 25.70. It was a 1 to 50 off the first entry, a 1 to 34 off the second, and a 1 to 128 off the third. So, you know, you didn't have to risk a lot. She definitely gave some really, really clean price action, and then play the continuation move. So as we're getting down into this area here, you know, what do I want to see? I just need us to break this, right? Break that. Then we could start potentially adding on to some of these positions. You know, no longer are we at a premium. So I wouldn't be looking for any more continuation plays until we do that. And once we do that, you know, yeah, absolutely. I would have been looking for continuation out of this. You know, whoever was steering the ship on GU though didn't want that. They just said bye-bye. So she ended up just taking off. And at that point, yes, do we have another redistribution here? We do, right? But at this point, honestly, it's just not worth the risk, because I'm trying to target a certain area, you know, and it just wasn't worth the risk because I needed that 1 to 10, and it wasn't going to give me that 1 to 10. So yeah, gave some really, really clean price action. Let's see, the 2.3. No. You got to add spread to it. Add spread. Yeah. So 2.3 and just add the spread to your stop loss. Where do you take profit, or how do you plan on taking profit? So, right. What was the target all day long was 25,700, because that's where we ended up coming right into, coming right into this right here, right? That imbalance right around the 125,700 area. That's where I'd be looking to target, you know? So, and that's what we did, right? We came into it pretty nicely. And what's the next target, right? The next target would honestly be this low right here. Hold on. Let's go back to the daily. You know, what's the next target? Next target's going to be us trading below this low right here. So I would be looking into this right here. Potentially the 50% of it is the next goal, right? Something along the lines of, 125, like 36, 125.30 is where I'd be looking to partial out. Keep in mind, right? Like this is still maintaining structure, this up here. So the idea is get your profits while you can. Do I think that we're just going to magically drop here without getting a pullback? No, I don't. But if price, and what I'll be looking for is I'll be looking for a hedge down in this area, maybe around like 124 or something like that. I'll be looking for a hedge if it presents itself. But I'm still holding massive sells on on GU. I want to say that the oldest trade that I'm holding, these two trades right here. This one here is at what is that, 1 to 174, and then this one here, well, what's it at? This one here is at yeah, it's not at a 1 to 1,000 because this is the one that we missed. Never mind. This is the one that we missed. Damn it, man. That's the one we missed. That's the one that came into that 50% of that super micro. So yeah, the two that I'm holding in here are still being held. I've got probably like 40% volume still left on it. Could you please show how that looks on a 1 minute? Yeah. Here you go. So the entry from this morning, yeah, that's what it looks like on a 1 minute. There she is. I mean, I think you wouldn't have gotten this entry here, but you definitely would have. You could have played out of this. You most definitely could have played out of that. All right. That most definitely. And then of course, once we broke this and broke this, ideally the next entry, if it would have presented itself, would have been on the table. But, off that 1 minute, you would have been able to see at least the two entries. When schematic confirms itself, take the trade, putting that. Yeah. I mean, when it's, especially, listen, when you go through the confirmations, right? You're in a bearish market on GU. You're in a mitigation, right? Because we know we've already confirmed right here. You've already confirmed redistribution. So when price is in this area here, like what would have happened realistically? What would have happened if price ended up trading above this high? That's it. I'm done with it because this would have been a reaccumulation and I'm not taking a sell out of a clean reaccumulation coming into this. So, that would have been the reason for this to go higher. So we get a confirmed distro, take the trade, right? If it lines up with your confirmation, bearish market, looking for shorts, New York session, confirmed redistribution, you're playing the mitigation of the redistribution as a last point of supply with a fresh, clean, lower time frame type 1 that confirms itself, game on. I mean, that if you look at my journal, that and those of you guys that have seen my journal, right? That is the very epitome. The only thing that would have made this a better trade was Thursday. It would have been on a Thursday. That's the only thing that would have checked every box in my confirmation for this entry. Hold on, let me see. Yep, you got it. Cool. Awesome. So yeah, I mean, that's GU. That's GU. Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you this, Kevin, it does help. It does help having the setup that I have, where I've got the 3 monitors, where I've got, I mean, technically I've got the 3 computer monitors, right? The three on my desk. I've got the 55-inch LED that's behind me in the office that I typically have indices up. I've got the 27-inch that I listen to like Fox Business on that I could throw charts on. And then I got my iPad because if you guys know, like I run a Mac Mini, obviously. So, you can use the iPad as an additional display. So yeah, I mean, I have the ability to have just a crap ton of charts everywhere that I can watch, and it does help, right? It does help. So, but yeah, GU was there, man. But the third DP on my 2090 card doesn't want to work. Really, what's it doing? Is it just not showing? Wait. So you have a No, you don't have a 2090 because you don't have a, there is no 2090. You have a 3090? 2080. Gotcha. Okay. What's it doing? It's just not showing display. You know what? Hey, I'll talk to you about it tomorrow. Yeah, I'll talk to you about it tomorrow. Yeah, we can figure it out. Yeah. It doesn't even recognize it. Yeah, I'll talk to you tomorrow about it. We can figure it out. You may need to overclock it. I mean, I'll show you how to do that, bro. Do you ever just get discouraged to a point where you're about to give up? No, I don't. Not to sound like arrogant or like egotistical or stuff, but no. For me, so it I don't know, like as with as much couth and as much empathy for people, I'll tell you that no. Many of you guys that know me personally, yeah, I don't give up on crap. I mean, it's just that simple. You know, my entire adult life has been, you know, a series of ups and downs, right? Obviously, like everybody else. But yeah, no, there is no giving up, right? If you know, that whole, the montage, if you put your mind to it, you can do anything. I mean, it sounds cheesy, but yeah, no, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it, you know. That's just been my entire livelihood. You know, it's, when I was in the military, you know, everyone used to call me very intense because, yeah, I mean, things had to get done, right? You know, there is no giving up on it. You know, when I was a cop, you know, I gave 100%. You know, there was no like easy days. When I got into trading, you know, it was, you know, when I was learning this, did I suck at the beginning? Absolutely. Did I lose money? Yes, I did. Did I sit down and kind of organize myself and say, you know, this is where I'm at. This is where I need to be. Now I need to fill in the blanks and figure out what the heck I got to do to get there. And, you know, if there's any motivation behind it, it was that, I'm not failing. I'm not, you know, there is a answer to everything, right? You know, most people don't want to be brain surgeons because they just don't want to do it, right? But if you want to be a brain surgeon, you're going to be a damn brain surgeon. You know, you want to be you want to be a fighter pilot, you're going to be a fighter pilot. You know, it's how much do you want it? How much are you willing to give up for it? You know, I can tell you that I probably every waking minute of my, you know, probably 6-month journey into learning this was dedicated to this. I mean, hell, I'll tell you right now, last night, I didn't get to bed till almost 1 o'clock in the morning because I was up late at night going through some charts and going through and analyzing and figuring out, you know, okay, so if I miss this, what do I need to do to make sure I don't miss it again? And, you know, like this GU short, the GU short from last week, the SPX buy this morning, like, you know, what gave me the confidence to pull that trigger and take it? It's honestly just the experience. It's, you know, and how do you gain experience? Well, if you're not taking trades, how else can you gain experience? I mean, back testing the charts, right? Back testing the charts. Don't undervalue back testing. You know, I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, you know, the outcome, you know, the outcome, it went bullish. Who gives a crap if you know the outcome? Right? You got to investigate it. You have to figure out the why. If you figure out the why, you'll know when to take the darn trades. You know, that's probably one of the best advices I can give you is who cares about the result? You know, figure out the outcome, figure out how to get there, figure out the why. And the why is is probably the main focus. That was my thing. Investigate the why, right? Why did price react here? What did price do? What was that? You know, what was that confirmation that was present that gave me the entry, you know? So take this GU, take the GU from last week, take EU, you know, just those are the 3 most recent trades that I can think of that, you know, if you were there on the chart and you saw it happen and you didn't take the trade, you know, screenshot it, write on the chart, open up a text box and write out some notes for yourself, list. And most of you guys can attest to this. When I have told you in the past, right, write out why you didn't take the trade. And I'll tell you, one of two things is going to happen. You're going to get sick and tired of writing the same damn thing why you didn't take that trade, that you're going to take the trade, or you're going to get to the point where you're going to say, just like Kevin did, enough of this madness. And, I'm taking these trades. So yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. Cool. Alrighty. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, let's so GU, what's next on the table for GU, right? Keep in mind, hold on, let's get it reset. Keep in mind, and I guess I don't need this box no more. Boom. Where's our order flow being maintained from? It's still the same area, right? Nothing has changed. This still my order flow leg, right? So what you can ultimately expect is, if we do get a pullback, I want it here or I want it here, right? If we don't get a pullback, how do I get in? Same thing like EU. That right there gets me in, right? That gets me in. Does that make sense? Any questions on that? Is everybody kind of, my bad on the tangent? It is, yeah, it's one of those days. I got kids in the background. I can hear them through the door. I need to soundproof this one day. Yeah. All right. Cool. So that's GU, right? I mean, that's essentially now. What if there's a spark in the dollar and it ends up just taking some massive profits? Where do I reasonably believe that we can kind of come back down to? I mean, keep in mind this right here, right? Keep in mind this. That's where ultimately I'd be looking as well, right? If we trade above this, then next stop right here, and I will be looking to play out of that. All right, that's where I'd be looking to play. So I don't think we're going to get there this week, though. I mean, potentially, maybe we get there, but that's almost 500 pips to get up to that. So I don't see it happening, and keep in mind, right, all this is just one big redistribution. So it's a continuation move, holds no structure, right? Holds no structure. We haven't seen structure on GU, man. When was it? The last time was February. Hold on. January. Wow. January. So we're being held. Lower time frame structure is still being maintained from up here. Right. So, if for some reason we break this high, then I'm looking here. If we break above here, then I'm looking here. That's pretty much how I'm going to play GU. All righty. And it's just a continuation move. My next target, like I said, getting down to like that 123, 124 area, about another 150, 200 pips. And we'll see how it continues. All right. With GU, continuing with the majors, right? AU, what I was looking at last week, listen, no secret, right? We're bearish. We've been expecting this bearish move. I'm a little disappointed about this right here because she left without me. I'm in no AU shorts, none whatsoever. And it's a flipping bummer. I'll tell you that. So I was looking, when was this? This was last week, right? Like Tuesday, Wednesday. Same thing, it's a common theme, right? Redistribution, right? This was the confirmation of redistribution. What do I want to see? I wanted to see us come back in. I wanted to see a distribution. Well, check, got a distribution. Make a new low. You got it. What do I want to see next? I want to see us come back, right? Mitigate this move. How do I want to see it? In a distribution? Check, distribution, right? Only thing that sucks is once she broke, she never came back. Never came back. So once we confirmed another redistribution, what do I want to see? Come back into here, right? Mitigate this sucker so we can take this lower. Unfortunately, like I said, she never came back. So now what did I want to see this morning, right? And most of you guys on here that were there, what did I want to see this morning? Damn, did I want this? right? Was I not? I mean, I was pretty confident in seeing that we were going to play this, right? This is what I wanted to see. I wanted to see us come back into New York price action. I wanted to see the distro where I was going to pull the trigger on that distro, and then we were going to short it to take out this low. Didn't get it. So now what? Well, now we have a confirmed redistro, right? Do you always wait for another schematic or lower time frame, or you take a mitigation entries on a higher time frame if it makes sense to do it? Yeah. I'll tell you right now, if I could, a perfect scenario would be I could take a higher time frame, right? Hour, 4 hour, whatever. If this was instead of a 1 minute, if this was a 4 hour chart and price now comes back, and let's say that we have a distro here, and this is a 4 hour UTAD, and I can take an 80% entry off of that 4 hour all day long. I'm putting that limit. Now, what keeps me from putting that limit is on AU, that stop loss is 17 pips. Yeah. At that point, no bueno, right? Because for me to catch my 1 to 10 minimum on a 17 pip stop loss, bad boy's got to go 170 pips, right? That's not something I want to do. So in that case, I probably, if I can't refine it, I'll just wait for a schematic, so I will tell you all of what we've been dealing with the last 2-3 weeks has all just been order flow. So for me, yeah, I err on the side of caution, and I play schematics within the order flow. Now, if there's reason that I can take a limit, what do? I just reduce my risk. So if I'm going to throw a limit, I'm going to reduce the amount of equity I'm throwing at it. That way, if it ends up going south and I hit the stop loss, all right, it's only a small portion of what I would normally risk. Now, if it gives me a schematic, yeah, I'm pulling the trigger. I'm coming in with my normal risk on it. Okay. So that's how I kind of do it. Does the trading journal work on iPad? What trading journal? Like my Excel one that I use? If you have, I mean, it all depends on what trading journal you're using, what the operating system that it's built on. Like mine's an Excel spreadsheet. So you can use Excel on an iPad, sure. You can use it on anything that runs Excel. If you have it in Google Documents, yeah, I mean, you can theoretically, you can do it on the iPad. I'm not a huge fan of doing much on my iPad. Like I use my iPad like last resort, just because when you go from 2 34-inch screens and a 27-inch vertical screen to I don't even know what this is, like 11.9 inch. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely, it's not the greatest. I have used it though. Like I'll throw my Excel spreadsheet on my iPad as just as an extended display, and I'll use it to fill stuff in. But yeah, I mean, it's difficult, but yeah, it's definitely accomplishable. So, yeah. So on AU, like what am I expecting now? I mean, we've confirmed redistro, right? We have now a redistribution, and, coincides, or actually, NU has confirmed it as well. If I haven't, because I haven't looked at it yet, but I saw the alert go off earlier. So what do I want to play out of, right? I mean, this entire move. There you go. There's my entire move. So, I mean, there's a couple ways you can look at it. There's a couple ways to trade this. The easiest, and the one that I'm going to personally be doing, is I'm just going to be waiting for a schematic right here. All right. Give me the distro. We'll put this down here. Use my alert that says look for sells. When that alert goes off, I'm looking for sells, right? That's pretty much how I'm going to attack this. So ideally this is what I want to play. And yeah, I mean, if we end up breaking above this high, then I'll play out of that distribution that we saw, at the beginning of the AU breakdown. But, for the most part, yeah. How do you refine the entry? If this had a type 1 in here, I'd play out of the type 1, but there's nothing to refine out of that, because that's the yellow snow. So nothing. I'm not even interested even diving into look to see where I would potentially take my short. Yeah. Yeah. So NU, right? Let's go to her sister, NU. Listen, same price action. We've been shorting this thing for a while. And unfortunately, right, you have a redistro here that taps in perfectly into the previous redistro, which, man, this one sucked because I wanted that. But can we come back up here? 100% we can come back up here. I'd love it for it to come back up here. But now we have a lower time frame order flow that's here. So the exact same idea behind AU is what we see on NU, right? I mean, this is same concept. What did I want to see? I wanted to see this bad boy right here. I mean, we did get it, just minus the distribution. So now, well, what do I need to do? Same thing like AU. I'm just going to measure out my fib. And, anywhere in this neighborhood, a sell gets me in. A sell gets me in. I'm curious. Hold on. Remember we did this the other day. Where's my FX book? I'm just curious to see the drawdown that people are doing here. Hold on. Let's see. AU and NU. What are these folks doing here? Let's see. That's all you got to see. So people are longing GU and EU, and they are average long price. They are 276 and 343 pips in drawdown is the average. Where is AU? AU, they're longing AU as well with a negative 177 pips in drawdown. And do we have NU? Let's see. NU. Let's see. I'm pretty confident that if you just do the opposite of what people are doing on here, I think you'll be in a good shape. Like you can honestly just go by market with it, just under leverage. Where is NU? I'm sure there's NU. Oh, they're longing NU. They're only 198 pips in drawdown. There you go. Can you imagine being 198 pips in drawdown, man? Oof. Oof. All right. So, yeah, I mean, NU, this is pretty much what I'm waiting for right here. Right here, and what if we don't get up there, right? If we don't get up there and we end up, we end up doing something like this. Ideally, what I'd love to see is that is either Frankfurt or London price action. And then I'm taking an entry out of here, so I need to start my own brokerage. How much percentage am I up for the month? Depends on what you count. I honestly don't know. I'd have to look at the journal. Yeah. It's actually, I mean, I'm pretty happy with it. I would say if I had to guess, realistically where I'm at, I know this weekend on my TPT account, I was a little over 10%, and my personal account, I don't know. I'd have to look at the journal for that one. FTMO, I know it's like 4.25, I think is what I'm at. So just because you can't hold any of these trades over the weekend, man. So yeah. So I'd be pretty happy with just finishing out like maybe like 12% for the month, which is by all means just perfect for me. I shoot for like 8% every month. Anything after that is just gravy. So yeah. All right, let's how big capital can we trade with how big of a capital can you trade with this tight stop loss method? However big capital you want. I mean, it's up to you. Yeah, it's entirely up to you. The capital doesn't mean anything. It's the risk, right? 1% of $100 account is still the same as 1% of $1 million account, right? So It's honestly the same. It's whatever you want to throw as far as capital. I mean, if you're looking for like prop firms, I mean, prop firms have their own limitations on capital, but it has nothing to do with their minus TPT, right? TPT has their 5 lot rule for the first quarter, but you can get that removed once you show them that you just have proper risk management. So if your capital is 100 to 100 million, your 1/4% risk still can work, or will get slippage. Yeah, man. Listen, you mean one? Are you talking about 1 billion? So you're talking about that would be what, 1 billion, right? $1 billion. Or are you talking about $1 million? I can tell you if you're talking 1 million or you're talking 10 million, you ain't got to worry about the slippage, because if you're trading your own liquidity, 100 million and above. So if you're trading 100 million and above, I honestly don't know about the 100 million, but I know once you get to the billion mark, yeah, you're not going to be able to do this. You're trading a billion, you're going to have to physically get orders filled. So yeah, I don't know about the 100 million because I don't trade a 100 million account. So I have no idea. Yeah. But I would venture to say that you're going to have to, I'll tell you this, nobody that I know that manages a fund is able to physically put orders in and trade them like we do. They have to use an algorithmic system to get orders filled. Otherwise, they're just not going to get theirs filled. So 1 to 5 million, yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem. So yeah. Now it all depends. Here's the catch though. It all depends on your brokerage, right? It all depends on your liquidity provider. Cause I can tell you, and a lot of you guys on here know this problem, trading a $200,000 to $400,000 account on a specific prop firm. How many times have you stared at price sitting at your entry with your spread included and no entry? I don't have that problem. You know, most of you guys know I trade on Awanda. My personal account is on Awanda. I don't have that problem with Awanda because they have a large liquidity provider. So, you know, I call them like Mickey Mouse liquidity providers. When you have a small liquidity provider who's only giving you a small pool of liquidity in orders, right? You may have that problem. So yeah, that's something that you'll have to, you know, I don't know if there's an easier way than trial and error to see what liquidity provider is giving. So yeah. How can you tell the difference between lower time frame continuation and a higher time frame pullback? So when the lower time frame continuation move gets violated, you know that you're going into a higher time frame pullback, right? You got to break order flow to get the pullback. Yeah. Is there an accumulation this morning on CADChef? Who's looking at CADChef this morning? DR, right? Was that you? Somebody was looking at CADChef this morning. Oh, son of a gun. Look at that. Oh, was there an accumulation? I don't see an accumulation yet. Yeah, I don't see an accumulation yet. Eventually, what you're probably going to get is, I don't know. I have a feeling that we may come lower, but hold on. I mean, yeah, the answer is there's no accumulation there yet. I would say maybe in like phase B, but remember, you're not looking for an accumulation. You're looking for a reaccumulation. So I mean, maybe at the smallest form you have an accumulation here, right? You got a 3 drive type 2. Yeah. All right. Does TPT provide good liquidity? No comment. No comment. let's just say there's been many a times that, yes, there's been many a times that, that orders aren't getting filled. So, and it's not like we're throwing some huge lot sizes, right? I mean, we're doing 0.25% on a 200K account. We're risking like $250 on a trade, and they can't get the damn thing filled. They used to be, no, yeah, absolutely right, but they used to be better. You can tell that they had to change liquidity providers for some reason. You know, the spreads were tighter, the entries were without issue. Not the case anymore. So, however, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. That NJ miss, yeah, NJ, and do you guys remember that EU? The EU miss too. The EU miss was like a 1 to 100 just a New York session that missed us, man. So, yeah, if you don't mind and got the time, I'd love to see your thoughts on UJ. Yeah, when we get to it, I mean, I'm bullish, but the sucker needs to come down for like 200 pips. So, let's see. So the continuation play goes until the boof happens for lower time. Yeah. So like, yeah, let's I'll give you GU, right? So all right. So on GU, we know, right? We know that we're in this redistribution, right? So price comes up here. All right, I'm selling it. Easy, right? Now, what if price trades above here and we create a boof? All right. So now what? So now I'm trading out of here when we come up to this. Okay. Well, what if we break this and we break this and we come up here? Well, now I'm selling out of lower time frame, and this is my slingshot. So I'd be looking for that short here. So play the continuation move until you break order flow, and then play it back into structure. So yeah, I mean, that's hopefully that kind of makes sense. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we covered AU, NU, GU, and EU. Let's ride over to here. We'll do UJ real quick. All right, UJ. So I mean, stupid freaking UJ, man. I'll be honest, I'm not in anything on UJ. I've been, most of you guys know, I've been trying to buy UJ since, what was this? February 2021. February 2021. That's when we started really diving into buys on UJ. Here it is right here. This was probably the reaccumulation I was waiting in here, and then this was it. This is what I wanted right here. This one right here. And yep, that's all she wrote. Never got me filled. I'm waiting right there. And I would have taken an entry out of here, but we went into the end of the day. And, you know, knowing what I know now, though, no, can I go 15? Oh, I can go 15. Knowing what I know now, that Frankfurt sweep was fantastic. And I tell you right now, we can't go lower time frame, but most of you guys know there was an entry in here. If you were up for Frankfurt, there was an entry right in here. And it was that right there. That's your type 1 accumulation on maybe like a 1 minute, maybe even a seconds time frame. And I would have blown my freaking monitor up. I would have demolished my monitor if I would have missed that right there. Looky that. Anyway, so yeah, that was your entry though. That was it. Anyway, makes me freaking upset when I see that. Okay. What's my thoughts on Nasdaq? I'm shorting the crap out of it, man. Yeah, I'm shorting the crap out of it. So anyway, UJ, I mean, listen, no question about this, right? We're bullish. I mean, we are massively bullish on this. So, I mean, would I love for price to come back into here? I would. Is it going to happen? I don't think so. I don't think so. And from our most recent, right? I mean, we know that we're here. This is kind of what's maintaining right? So if we do come back into here, and I will tell you that this right here kind of piques my interest, Frankfurt price action. We get that, I'd be pretty happy with it. But I mean, geez, we're 600 pips from that. So what am I looking at short term? You know, I kind of wanted to see us reaccumulate here, right? Well, she didn't do it. So no reaccumulation, which means now what? We got to come back to the next area of demand. And my next area of demand is going to be right here. So my alert is sitting like, I don't know, like 125, 700. It's like 200 pips away. We come back into this area right here. That's where I'm a buyer from. That'll be where I'm a buyer from. So if we don't get down there, what gets me into a buy? Well, we know that order flow is here. So, I mean, I love how we're walking this thing down. It's pretty. So we do this and we break, we get the boof, right? We come back and, you know, I'll be playing out of this, you know, to do that. That's what gets me in if we don't come down here. So, and if either of those two things happen, then I just sit here and watch EJ like I've been watching since February 2021. Yeah. I tried to play a continuation move on AJ this afternoon on the 15-minute, but it didn't play out. On AJ, we were looking at AJ too, right? We were looking at AJ, but it didn't break for me, right? Hold on. It was 1 minute. Was AJ the one this morning that I said if the only way we're getting in is if it breaks, right? Yeah. So what did I want to see? I wanted us to essentially come back into this, which was right here, and accumulate, right? So, oh, this was the 1 second, wasn't it? This was the 1 second. Yeah, it was. Yeah. So we were looking here this morning. And it gave a pretty clean type 1 right here. Gave a clean type 1 off the 80% of the spring, right? This being your spring. And what I wanted to see when we were here, what I wanted to see was a break, right? I needed this redistribution here to get broken for me to get back in, and no bueno. She didn't do it. So yeah, I guess throw me your chart. Where were you trying to get in? Because I don't see an area yet where I would throw an entry in yet. I mean, look at the 1 minute. We're still bearish order flow. Yeah. I mean, unless you were getting in here and then I see, you know, yeah, okay. I see what you were looking at. It gave or at least there was an opportunity to either get a tighter entry or just wait, but nothing in here. Nothing in here is what I'm looking at. And then this, once we broke this, that's it. The buy's done for me. The buy's done until we go back lower. Right. So now that we've done this right here, now that we've broken this, yeah, I'm waiting down here. Yeah. I got you. Yeah. You've been catching short-term plays on UJ? Yeah. I mean, the problem with UJ is all the buy. I mean, there was a couple buys that we were looking at. The problem is just the stop loss was just massive on them, you know, and for me, especially when you're dealing, you know, once you have a larger account, you have to deal with margin requirements. And one of the biggest issues that I have is like yen crosses are 7% margin requirements, right? So, you know, you'll start to, especially when you're dealing with tight entries, that margin gets eaten up very quickly. And, you know, I haven't met a broker yet that will reduce your margin requirement if you're in profit, which is stupid. Like if I move my stop loss into profit, it should eliminate my margin requirement, but that is another gripe, you know, for another day. But yeah, on AJ, I mean, I'm pretty much done with it. I actually will probably downgrade AJ to my secondary list until we come back into structure now, you know, yeah, like I would need us to come come back down into like the 85 range, somewhere down in here, which is 500 pips. So I may end up just keeping it here because this could be just a simple, maybe accumulation that does this. And once we break that, now any pullback gets me back into the buys. So that's how I'll look at it. All right. So we talked about UJ, right? Let's talk about dollar Swiss franc, man. Dollar Swiss franc. So I've been buying, I'm still holding these positions down here. And I mean, we look at dollar Swiss franc. Yeah. I mean, those of you guys, when did we do it? We did a back test on dollar Swiss franc. Shoot, when did we do it? We did it maybe like end of the year last year, right? End of the year. And what did all of this come out of? Mid-January? Okay. Yeah. What were we talking about, right? We were talking about just reading that price action and understanding that buyers are in control of this and what the heck they were doing. And it was very, very obvious, once we did the back test and got through and understood exactly what the heck was going on, that the target has always been to get up into this right here, so I'm pretty happy with where dollar franc is, catching the moves that we've been catching on it. And, I know a lot of people talk ill of the dollar franc, right? Like they do with Chef JPY, but the buys were pretty clean, obviously like last week, once we confirmed reaccumulation, right? You can kind of see what I was looking at. Confirmed reaccumulation here. What did I want to see? I wanted to see the price come back in, mitigate out of here. Well, dollar franc said pretty much, screw you, we ain't coming back, and took off. So play the continuation move, right? What's the most recent continuation move? This morning, and I saw what happened this morning too, man. I'm pretty damn pissed, but it is what it is, right? So what do we have? We have a distribution, right? We have price distributing here. We have our shakeout, right? 100%. We have our shakeout accumulation. We have a reaccumulation. Price ends up coming in here, distributing, and then what? Reaccumulating to break the high. So what, pretty much what we were looking at this morning, we were looking for price to just come back a little bit more, man. We just wanted, I don't even know what the hell that was. What was that? Like 7 pips, something like that. We just wanted something to get me back into this market. And damn, this pissed me off, man. Damn, this pissed me off, so I didn't even look to see, let's just see what we have lower time frame. Yeah, I'll tell you right now, this is, and I don't claim to be the best, right? I mean, I don't claim to say I got all the answers and stuff, but I will tell you this, one of my biggest weaknesses is sitting here on a chart and saying US dollar, Swiss franc, I'm looking for buys. I'm looking for buys from this particular area. And then this stupid thing come within 3.5 pips and then goes for, what is this? 95.66, 96.26. This thing goes for 80 something pips and I'm not in the trade. That's my biggest weakness, is dealing with, the stupid, having the right analysis, right bias, having right point of interest, and then just not being able to work a trade in. So it's unfortunate. I mean, is there a schematic in here? Yeah, there is. There she is right here. There she is right there. And we were watching it, right? We were watching this live. Damn it, man. And she did confirm, dude. Why didn't I see this? She did confirm. She did confirm. So those of you guys know how to trade a type 4. What do we wait for on a type 4? Yeah, I'm with you, bro. Not a type 1. What do we need for on a type 4 though? What are the 2 things that we look for? Yeah. Break a structure outside of the trading range. Absolutely. Did we break structure outside the trading range? What's the trading range, right? Trading range is what? Your test or your climax to your rally. So climax to the rally. Did we break the damn Did we break the damn trading range is the question. We did. We did, man. I didn't see this. I didn't see this. And then, so here's your spring, right? Here's your spring. There's your spring. I'll tell you right now, though, I would have put risk on that. I would have put risk on that. Why didn't we put risk on that? 134. 134. 134. This would it come into like 50% of it? Yeah, I mean, yeah. Realistically, though, I mean, I would never have taken I never would have taken a 23 pip stop on it. Asian sweep and 50% plus its lower time frame confirmation. Yeah, but I'm not going to take a 22 pip stop loss. That's the problem. You know what I mean? Like, think about it. You're in this trade right now at 50%. You're sitting at a 1 to 2.5. Yeah. Stop loss was 2.3 pips. Stop loss was 2.3 pips. I don't know what was your stop loss based off of, though? Yeah, for me, there wasn't enough. I'd still have to, yeah, what are you playing your stop loss off of? Yeah, there was nothing to, you gotta account for this move right here, man. Right? You gotta account for that. Yeah, I wouldn't have taken it. You don't know why you can't paste it? I don't know, bro. Yeah, for me, this is my risk has to be here. That's what's coming back to mitigate, right? So, I mean, even if I offset it like 80%. I mean, this is still 72 to 57. That's still too big. Yeah. Damn. I'll have to look at this. Why didn't I see this? Because it was there. It was there, especially after sweeping Asian lows. All right, cool. Yeah. Anyway, it is what it is. It'll go into my missed trade folder. I'll have to look at it. Anyway, so what's next, right? Well, I mean, we just confirmed another reaccumulation, right? So this for me is what needs to come back and get mitigated. So we get any kind of pullback, and I mean, that's kind of why my alert's sitting here, but we get any kind of pullback, that's where I'm going to be looking to play, right? I'll be looking to play. I'll be looking to play in this neighborhood right here. Yeah. Oh, there it is. Let's see. No, bro. Wrong chart. It says like Euro USD on it. Let me see. Hold on. Let me delete this. Nope. Same wrong chart, bro. Yeah. Screenshot it though, bro. Don't give me the link, right? Screenshot it. So, yeah, just click on it, copy link to chart image right here. All right, let's see. What's your advice if you want to play the continuation move and get confused about the timeframes to look where I can position myself into? Hopefully the question is not so start big and go small, right? If you're going to play the continuation move, start with the larger time frame continuation move, then work it down. And then if it, say you work down from a 1 hour to a 15 to a 5 to a 5 second. The 5 second, I wouldn't be playing a continuation move on a 5 second, but if it violates the 5 second, it's going to come into the 5 minute. Violates the 5 minute, it's coming up to the 30 minute, right? So yeah, start big and go small. If I saw that sweep of Asian on dollar Swiss this morning, I would have, yeah, we were watching it. We were live on it. I had, if I remember correctly, I had an alert. Oh, hold on. I had an alert. There we go. I had an alert like at the low because I really wanted us to play into this. And I think we just moved on. I think that's what it was. Oh, bro. Yeah, but so you played. Yeah, so you played this. You played that break and then you took it out of here. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much what I was saying. So I'm guessing you saw this as a type 4 as well. I mean, good for you, man. Good for you. I missed it. I don't know if I was just rushing this morning looking through the charts or maybe I just didn't, maybe I got off the chart because I had an alert down here. I don't even know if we saw that though, because I'll tell you right now, most of you guys know that if I would have saw that type 1 in there, I would have pulled the trigger on that damn type 1. Yeah. No, good job with it, man. Good job with it. I thought you had a limit order off of the 134 minute. Yeah, for me, no, I can't do that. But this thing right here, man. This was it right here. There she is. Let's see. This right here. What would that have been? He would have been a 1 pip stop, man. 1 pip stop. Oh, well. Yeah, if I would have seen that, I think we were probably on another pair. I'll go back. I'll have to go back into the Zoom call and look to see where we were at 908. Why the heck I missed it, man? Because that's going to go in my miss trade folder. Well, good job, man. Good job catching it, dude. Why? Hold on. Let's see. Why wouldn't you place entry at bottom of the spring in type 4? Why wouldn't I place the entry at the bottom of the spring? What do you mean at the bottom of the spring? Yeah. What do you mean at the bottom of the spring? Would you enter a clean schematic even if it's out of your point of interest? No. And the reason I would say no is because I wouldn't see the clean schematic because if it's not in a point of interest, I'm not looking at that chart. Does it work on crypto? I don't know. I've never back tested it on crypto. So I would venture to say no, because crypto is a totally different animal. Yeah. You mean the stop loss? Yeah. No, my stop loss would have been here. Stop loss would have been here. Yep. Aren't you using the indicator for clean seconds charts? No, I don't need it. I'd rather see the actual price action, because for me, if I fill it in, it kind of it takes away from what I'm looking for in the price action. So yeah, I don't want the indicator for it. Yeah. Price hits the 80%, gives a nice reaction, and then trades below it. I feel UChef does that often. You talking about right here? Yeah. Good observation, bro. Yep. Good observation. Yeah. I'll tell you right now, dude, how much do you want to bet that if we get down on that 1 second, that this comes into 80% of that damn reaccumulation? Anyway, yeah, good observation. I'll tell you right now, like on UChef, just because of the way it moves, if this was my entry, I would not have reduced risk until we broke order flow. So the reaction here wouldn't get me to reduce risk. Now, the minute we do this, because that's our low and that's our next low, and we got the boof right here, then I'd be reduced risk. Or if we don't trade lower, say we come in and tag the entry, and then we do this. All right, now I'm reduced risk. But just the reaction alone, no. And I'll tell you right now, I don't know. Do you see the type 1 in here? You see that type 1 right in here? I'll tell you right now, like had we done this, I'm in off of that. I'm in off of that right there. Yeah. Okay. Good. Yep. Yeah. Could you have moved 50% of your risk? Yeah, you could have. Yeah. I mean, I know you've been doing that lately, which is a good thing, bro. You know, take half your order, reduce it, save some equity. And, you know, obviously, like if it takes out here and we confirm the reaccumulation, then you know that this is your shakeout. Play out of that, you know, let that sucker come right in, boom, take it off and throw the rest of your equity into that. So that's one way. That's one way to definitely do it. Yep. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, cool. So on UChef, yeah, I mean, it was a good little New York session trade, man. What a bummer. But yeah, so what gets me in now is we come down in here, right? We come back in here and I'm looking for those buys, especially dollar continues to show strength, looking for those buys. So get back into here and you know, UCAD, pretty much the same thing, right? You know, we've been looking, come on, there we go. So UCAD, right? You know, what were we looking for? You know, you saw your big accumulation, you saw price ultimately reaccumulate by breaking this high. Really clean accumulation that came into there. And then, so now in its, on this time frame, what do I want to see? For me to get in, I'm taking an entry from here, right? I want to see this happen. Before that happens, though, we need to break order flow. So how can I get in? How can I get in before we break order flow? Well, right here, right? This was your distribution. Here's your creek, right? This is your leg. So if we come back into reaccumulation or come back into this push, I will take a schematic along this, right? That's what gets me into this trade. So UCAD very much bullish still, and target wise, I'll be looking target a new high, right? Want to target a new high. 129 is on my radar, right? 129 is on my radar. And then the even higher than that, I want to get up above, you know, maybe like 130, you know, just paying attention to where we're at. So we'll see how it plays. UCAD is like ECAD, delete it. I don't know. We've been pretty nice with UCAD, you know. UCAD's been pretty, I'll tell you this, I don't take a lot of trades on UCAD, but when the dollar's pushing this market, I'll do it. So really that's the major pairs. And, you know, EG, you know, I talked a little about EG. You know, for me, EG gets up into here, maybe tomorrow. If we get a distribution up here, I'm pulling the trigger. I'll sell it. I'm really not looking for buys on EG. You know, if we trade above this, and you can see my alert that's up here. We trade above it and we get into this distro. Yeah, I'm looking for a short. Take this down, make this a redistribution like I've already labeled. I'm pretty pretty confident that we're going to eventually redistribute here on this larger time frame. So looking for those shorts on EG, but we're not in an area where I really want to play it yet. Could we play out of this? I mean, we could, but really for me, EG is a timing thing. I'll check it crossover. When I wake up in the morning, I'll give a look at EG. If I notice that we're distributing, all right, yeah. As long as we're in here, or if we trade above it and we come into this right here, yeah, I'll be looking for that short. I mean, that's pretty much it that I was looking at. NCAD, I don't know if you guys saw NCAD. NCAD gave some really nice entries last week. We've been looking to short it. I'm looking to target, below this low down here, and gave, what was it, like 2 or 3 entries last week. Just walking this down, play the redistributions, right? It's just play the redistros. So, you've got a confirmed redistribution, right? Last point of supply. You could have taken something out of there, have a distribution here. You could see here's the 50, here's the 80. Could have had a limit order once we broke this low. And then it even gave you on lower time frame a confirmed distribution here, right? I mean, there's your confirmed distribution. So, you've got really, really clean price action that confirms this is your UTAD, right? So you've got 1 drive, 2 drive, up thrust, UTAD. We break, and then, here's your 50, here's your 80. I don't know if you would have been filled. I'm sure if you do like what I suggest, throw a pipette or 2 into your entry prices, you would have been filled there. But then we even got another distro, right? Got another distro. So yeah, ACAD and NCAD, I'm still looking for shorts on them. So, playing the continuation move, you can kind of see what I'm waiting for on ACAD here. Just waiting for this break, crossing redistro. We get that. And yeah, I mean, that's where I'm playing right there. So it's just a waiting game. I would imagine that maybe this is going to be like a Thursday, maybe Friday play. And, it looks like we may even get a redistro tonight. So depending on what happens, like if we get maybe like a Frankfurt manipulation and then the break, right? I'd look to play out of that, right? To short this. So that's kind of what I'll be looking with ACAD and NCAD. I mean, the yen crosses are kind of like just in the middle. I'm not really doing much with them yet. I'm still bullish, but they got to pull back. So you want to invest long-term in crypto. Can you suggest some coins to look at? Yeah, I mean, just go to Coin Market Cap or go to CoinGecko, and you want to diversify. I mean, if I could tell you what I do is I diversify. I'm not going heavy on 1 coin or 2 coins. So yeah, I mean, you want to have a little bit of everything. You want to diversify across, and you want to have, your blue chips. You want to have, your high caps, right? You want to have your main caps. Those are the big ones. Your $1 billion, your $1 billion market cap ones are your blue chips. Your mid caps. And then obviously a couple low caps that you can just throw a couple bucks at in the hopes that they take off. My low cap last year was Flux. We got in, what was it, like 13 cents, and the thing went up to almost $2. So yeah, as far as coins right now, I mean, I'm pretty big right now on Cadena. I just bought a Cadena miner, a little ASIC for it. Cost a little penny, but I'll be mining Cadena. I'm definitely behind the project. I like it tremendously. So give it a look. Like I said, I'm in a really good, I've been cost dollar averaging in on Cadena, and Luna's the other one. I'll give a look at Luna. Yeah, man, you have it going. You bought EU and holding for the rest of your life. Going to be a millionaire. Oh, good luck, bro. Good luck. You and the rest of my FX book. Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, absolutely. I just look at the higher time frame. You can see where EU is going to go. How does BTC have value when there is nothing backing it? There's nothing backing BTC. I'll ask you this question. What's backing the dollar? Yeah, when it comes to backing, right? You got to think about it from like a economical sense. And if something has value, right? What determines its value? It's people. Whether it's BTC, whether it's a comic book, whether it's a physical coin, what gives it its value, right? If I were to sell, right? If I were to sell a, I don't know, I'm looking up at my baseball collection right now. If I were to sell a, here we go. I got a Roger Clemens. What is this? Hold on. So here you go. I've got a Roger Clemens 1985 Topps rookie card with a, let's see, it is a mint condition 10. If I were to sell this on eBay and it's framed in, it's certified. If I were to sell this on eBay for $750, right? Um, it's valued at $700. So the US government backs the dollar. Can you show me where the US government backs the dollar? How does it back the dollar? This would actually be a nice little financial lesson. Yeah. How does the US government back the US dollar? Is the question. The Fed, the Federal Reserve. So is the Federal Reserve a US government entity? You don't know? It's not. If you were to look up the Federal Reserve in the white pages in the phone book, it is not in the US government section. It is a public, I'm sorry, it is a private entity. The Federal Reserve is not the US government. So, yeah, I would just Google it. Go down the rabbit hole. Give it a look see. The federal government is a business. It is a private entity. So how can a private entity back a currency? It can't, right? Let me ask you, most of you guys know the answer to this. If the US government needs more money, what do? Do they sell off things, right? Like if you need more money, if you needed, say you wanted to buy a new car, what do? You need to come up with some money, right? So maybe you sell a service, right? Whatever it is, I don't know, computer repair, or maybe you sell your old car to get money for a down payment for a new car, right? You do something to sell that. Does the U.S. government sell anything to get they get a loan? Well, so they don't get a loan anymore because they cannot. I mean, our debt is so big, but in the form of getting a loan, how does that happen? What do? The Federal Reserve just prints more money for them. That's all it is. Let's see. The Federal Reserve is not owned by anyone. The Federal Reserve was created in 1930 Reserve Act to serve as the nation's central bank. It is not. Wait. Is an agency of the U.S. federal government reports? No, it does not. It does not. It is not an agency of the federal government. You're looking at Google. Horrible, horrible. Do not look at Google. It is not an agency of the federal government. And does anybody know? So let's look into this. And I'm pretty sure this video is going to get taken down by YouTube. They do sell bonds. Absolutely. Sure. They sell some bonds. I mean, we'll get into that, but they just print more money. Right. So who was the founding, or who were the creators of the Federal Reserve Act? And wouldn't you, well, let's go down this rabbit hole. Hold on. Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve. Come on. I can't even type with this. So the Federal Reserve, let's see, hold on. Where is the actual? Where is the Federal Reserve? Hold on, let's do it like this. Who created? I know it's going to tell me the president. I don't care that it was the president who created the Federal Reserve. Let's get into it. Let's look at this. Let me see if it actually talks about the authors of the bill. Here we go. Let's see. Hold on. Who wrote the bill? I want to see who, if they show the name of who wrote the bill. Let's see. Oh, no. It was, yeah. But it is. But I want to see if they actually name who wrote the bill, because it is actually pretty interesting. Oh, no. Come on. Oh, it doesn't. I'll have to look it up. So anyway, I can tell you without, because I don't want this to get censored. I can tell you that there are 3 entities that wrote the bill. And wouldn't you know that they are pretty much one of the world's wealthiest families, right? So yeah, just Google, go down and look at the actual Federal Reserve and what it is, but it is not a government agency. It has their board of directors are voted upon by themselves. There is no, if Jerome Powell went before Congress and Congress gave him a directive to do something, he does not have to do it. It is only enacted by the board of directors, or essentially the governors of the central banks, right? So there's 5 central banks in the U.S. But yeah. You got it, Kelly, bro. I know I'm already on like my 3rd strike for this, but yeah. The Federal Reserve is not a government agency. It is not. It is a central bank, and the government does not own the bank. It is entirely made up of financiers and bankers in the world system. So yeah. From The Creature from Jekyll Island, I heard this about how yes, it's a very good book. You wouldn't be surprised if it was the Roth blah 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 blah. Yeah, you would. Here, hold on. So all you need to know is that and wait, hold on. And hold on. Wouldn't you know that they were tasked with creating the congressional act that formed the Federal Reserve? Imagine that, huh? Imagine that. So yeah, look it up, Google it. But when you look it up in the white pages, they are not in the government section. So I agree. They have, and it's not even oversight. Oversight is not the word for it. They pretty much take all their marching orders from their board of directors. So yeah. Have I read the book? I have read the book. Yes, I have read the book. So yeah, I'm curious. Even on pre-search here, I thought they would have done a better job, but yeah, don't believe anything Google tells you. I wonder what this will say. Hold on, let's see. Let us see. Oh, this is the Federal Reserve of San Francisco. I don't want the San Francisco one though. Oh, here we go. Maybe here. Let's see. Look, there's a picture of them. There's a picture. I'll tell you what, you really want to know what's going on. Figure out who those people are. Specifically him, and specifically him. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do is figure out who those 3 gentlemen are. That's probably the most important, influential thing right there. But hold on. Let's see. Curious to see if they actually put it in here. No, it doesn't even say how it was created though. That sucks. Yeah. Google it. Go down that rabbit hole. Trust me. You'll think differently of this stupidity right here. You'll think differently. So, but yeah, it's not backed by the US government one bit. Now the US government has a vested interest in it, right? But yeah, look, this right here is who controls it. The Federal Reserve Board, right? That's who does it. So yeah, cool. Alrighty. Let's move on. So yeah, that's my take on it. There's actually, I think, more backing by Bitcoin than there is than the US dollar, because what's backing Bitcoin is actual people that are making transactions that back it, right? Just like when we were on the gold standard and the US dollar was backed by gold, there was a backing to it. Bitcoin is backed by the US dollar, right? Because there's a value that's attached to it when I exchange it. What is the US dollar exchange value? There isn't. It's a fiat currency, right? That's the whole definition of fiat, right? So yeah. All right. Anyway, digressing. We'll jump into indices here, right? So on the indices side, yeah, I mean, we'll start Nasdaq. Listen, 100%, I'm still bearish on this sucker. You know, we've been pretty accurate in determining what we were going to do. You know, what was I expecting? Actually, this alert went off today, right? And new low, I think it says. Hold on. What is it? Oh wait, no. I guess I got to move it this way. Here we go. Yeah. So we confirmed the redistro. I can delete that. So we have a new low, right? So we know all of these shorts from up here, you know, massive profits. I'm a little ticked that I missed this entry right here. And really that was the only big entry that really presented itself. You know, this morning I was kind of looking to see if I can buy it up into the area that I wanted to short from, right? I was looking to short out of this, or I was looking to short out of this, but we just ended up playing continuation moves, right? You know, one of the things I was really disappointed about this morning was this distribution had no manipulation on all three, no manipulation. So there was nothing for me really to play on Nasdaq today. You can see at market close, we do have a nice little redistro right here. If that's still available tomorrow, that may be an area that I'm going to kind of give a look at. You know, we'll see, we'll kind of see what happens into it, but that's something that I'll be looking for into tomorrow if it's still there when we get into pre-market. On U30, right? On U30, listen, been calling this since October, right? We've been calling this since October, this massive distribution, and coming into our 80% of this leg, what do we have? Right? We have a distro. So eventually we're going to have to come back and to mitigate this, and I'll be ready for it. But until then, I'm going to play the continuation moves. Right. So what I was kind of looking at, same thing, right? We had an accumulation here, and I started to short it, you know, coming out of pre-market right in here. So once the market opened at 9:30, started looking at some shorts, and this, let's go here. So this is how I kind of played it. I ended up taking a break even on one and a stop loss on another, but you know, here's market open, and we'll kind of look at it here. Here's market open. There we go. Market open. I had these entries that I was ready to pop. As soon as we made a new low, I deleted them. I did get in off of this redistribution, took it off the 50% of this candle right here, got in pretty cleanly and reduced risk as soon as we did that. The rest was this. I mean, very clean redistribution. Took it. I had a split entry 50-80. Ended up getting off the 50. Ended up reducing my risk. Paid myself a little bit when we made a new low, and then you can see this entry ends up taking me out. I'm still holding this one here. So I'm pretty happy with the progress that gave. And then you can see, what do we end up doing? Just another redistribution here. So where I took some partials was around like a 1 to 12 towards the end of New York session. And I'll be looking if this is available tomorrow morning, I'll be looking to see if we do something out of it, but I'm going to continue to look for the shorts, and just work the continuation move, right? SPX. So SPX, I did get into a little buy. Same concept, right? Like you had, come on, trading view. There we go. So where did I want to sell from, right? I mean, I wanted to sell from here, right? Up in here. We didn't get that. So for me, what I started to do, I know a couple of guys like Kevin, I know you grabbed it. Good job with it. This accumulation, especially the fact that, we really didn't see evidence to suggest that we're going to go higher with it. Started to play the continuation sell-offs, right? And coming out of pre-market, yeah, I mean, pretty clean, man. Like when you show me the chart, very, very clean coming out of pre-market and just working the redistros, right? So there she goes, right? So market opens and what do? We, again, right here, boom, we break, play out of here. So I know this is where some of the guys got in right there. Next thing, what do? Right here, boom, we break. There's the entry, right? So playing this short really played clean. I ended up getting, so I was looking for next entries out of here. You can see we just kind of collapse. I ended up getting in. Off of this play right here, right out of this next one. But I ended up closing out because it just didn't fill me. It filled me, but it filled me crappy. Like I think there was a little bit of a gap in between it, and I had just a horrible stop loss. So I ended up closing it out. But I did take a little hedge buy right out of here. I don't know if you can see it on the 5 seconds. So, because I was holding the shorts on U30, I was okay with taking this buy. Hold on, let me go. There we go. I was okay with taking the buy because I was setting up for the sell, right? There we go. So this was my buy right here. This was my buy, took it out of this type 1, played it right off the 50, got filled. And what I ended up doing from that was just playing the ping pong game, right? Just playing the continuation move. So what I ended up, you can kind of see in here, right? So once we played and confirmed the redistro, right? I ended up taking some partials. What I was trying to do was catch this sell right here. Ended up getting hit stop loss right in here. Made up for it on the buy. Once we came up here, I ended up closing half the trade. And I mean, it was in pretty decent profits. It was like a 1 to 20, 1 to 21, something like that. But now once we broke the low right here, right? Once we broke this low, all I did was just measure this move. I measured that move. What I was looking for, you can see I had an entry off the 50 with the stop loss above here. We never tagged it. What we did was just play into 50 of the whole move. So once we did that, this is where I got in right here. So took a small little entry out of this distribution, ended up catching that sell. I think it's on another chart, but ended up catching that sell. And, obviously we saw this down move. So really clean. I made a little bit on that buy, but the sells, especially on U30, the sells were a whole lot better. So this is kind of where, it was about a 1 to 20 sitting like right around like a 1 to 12 right now, but we come back into it. This is where I'm looking to short out of this. So if we kind of do something like this tonight and then come in here with the Franc for manipulation and we break coming back into New York, I'll look to short it to continue doing this. Right. So I'm still looking for shorts. Where are we? I mean, where am I targeting? Yeah. I mean, just look at the chart. I'm targeting a new low, right? If you look, I think I posted on my Instagram, the shorts that I'm holding from up here, right? And I think in here or here, one of these two spots, my TP is right here to take two more positions off. So once we break this low, then potentially we're going to come back into this And, this has my eye, I already know what I'm going to do when we come back into this. But for the short term, yeah, I'm looking to target a new low out of this. So, let's see. Why were you done looking for the continuation plays before? I wasn't. I was just playing ping pong with it, bro. Kevin had sent me like a chart, and I was just really fixated on U30 and SPX. So I just saw the hedge opportunity and I threw it in. One of the big things, like why I took that buy too, was just where it was at. So I had an alert. Hold on. So you could see this. All right. Yeah. You could see the 80% here. So where it was at, there you go. Where that accumulation was at was just in the area that I wanted to see us get some sort of, sign. And when you look at it from this angle here, right? When you look at it like this, what do we have? Hold on. Let me make it bigger. There we go. When you look at it like this, what do you have? You know what I mean? So being in that area there, there was no really clean accumulation, no really clean accumulation. But man, when we got there, I just said, all right, I mean, this could be the reason that we go higher. So I took this buy, but I also I attempted to take that sell. So I ended up getting stopped out here, right? For the short, ended up taking the buy. And then, I closed in half. I closed out half once we broke. I think it was like, that's where it was at right there. I didn't take it all the way to the high. I ended up closing out here about half at a 1-33. It was a little less. I think it was like 1-21 with the spread. But yeah, once we did this, the rest of it hit break even. And now I was looking to trade out of this. So does that make sense? Yeah. Yeah. So I was just playing ping pong with it, I don't know. Did you happen to catch the shorts coming down? I know like Kevin got in, I think like on two of them. I think he got that one and then got that one. So what do you do when you're up a 1-10 and price starts to go against you? What do you mean go against you? Like hit your break even? I mean, that question is difficult to answer because, it depends on a variety of scenarios. Yeah, it's, I mean, I can tell you the easy answer is this: price goes against me, it goes against me, It's pretty simple. If I got into a buy and we're in a bullish market and I get to an area where I can pay myself some risk, I'm going to take it. Starts coming back to your entry, well, then it hits my entry. It hits my reduced risk, or it hits my stop loss, right? Or it hits my break even if I'm at break even. I mean, that's honestly, I mean, that's really all I can say. If it starts coming back, it comes back. If I attempted a buy and the buy failed, it failed. I was wrong about that point of interest, or I was wrong about that price action. So yeah, but there's a lot of factors that go into determining like what I'm gonna do. Is it coming back because it came into an area of supply and failed to break and make a new high? Is it? I mean, yeah, there's so many scenarios that can be played out. It's not a one answer. Okay. All righty. So yeah, so that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing with indices. And lastly, I'll take a look over here at BTC, right? Take a look over here at BTC, and unfortunately, we didn't get, where the heck's my maybe 30-minute? Here we go. Unfortunately, we never got the confirmation that I wanted for us to get higher. So, where it's at right now, I mean, we're still in the area where we're still in this area. And, for me, this hasn't changed. Like, for me to really start to think some bullishness, we still need to break this right here. That's what I want to see. This is the distribution. This is your redistro. If this is going to be your accumulation, that accumulation needs to take out the distro for me to really, be in a position where I can say, I'm going to start throwing some more money at BTC. Well, I mean, I'm not going to throw money at BTC, but on the altcoins, so where are we? I mean, we are just right here, in theory, this is our leg. So this is the extreme, right? And, could this be just a larger accumulation? I mean, it can be. I'm more inclined to say that we've redistributed, and we're going to come a little lower, whether or not we come in here, right? That's going to be, something I'll be looking at. But for me, I personally don't trade BTC. I just use it as right. I mean, this is kind of the area that I'm expecting. It's 80% of the entire push, and it's 50% of this move. But, if we get some bullishness on BTC, the rest of this is going to follow. So that's what I'm looking at. Yeah, absolutely. I'm hoping it keeps coming lower, man, because I just want to keep buying Cadena. I want to keep buying some of these other coins. And I'm cost dollar averaging on some stuff. Of course, the one that I really want to get into just isn't giving me the damn pullback. I mean, it's slowly getting back down here, but yeah, I mean, this stupid thing. Everything that I want to buy is up, and the ones I don't want to buy are the ones that are down at discount. So yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, this is. I mean, kind of that's the understanding that I'm kind of watching on BTC. We're still massively bullish. We're just after breaking that 46K mark, like I wanted. We've essentially have done this to this to this. So, this right here is what's going to get mitigated, and I'm pretty confident that we're going to sweep that. So, I would say between 35,400 and like 36, like 870. This is where I'm looking for us to really start building something. What do I think about AVAX? Like to invest in? I mean, I buy AVAX for transactions, but there's nothing for me to buy out of AVAX. For me, it's nowhere near where I want to buy from. So, yeah, for me, it's nowhere in an area where I'm going to buy and hold. Yeah. So, if I'm buying, it's going to be out of this reaccumulation. That's where I'd be buying from. Yeah. So maybe like, if we cost dollar average because of this break right here, could we come lower? Absolutely. We can come down here. We can come down 10, 15 bucks. But yeah, for me, this is my slingshot. We never really came back to mitigate this. So, do we have a reason to come back? This is some buyers in here. Do we have reason for price to come back and tag into this? Yeah, but nowhere close to where I want to buy from yet. Yeah, some of these. I mean, personally, I'm not investing in AVAX. So I hold some of it just for transaction fees, but that's about it. I'm really not doing much outside of that. But yeah, but that's pretty much everything I'm looking at. So yeah, man, have a good one, bro. I'll catch you in the morning, bro. Yeah. So anybody else have anything else? If not, I'm going to call it a night. I'm going to actually, I got to go finish up on that one GPU that I've got in, move it over and add it to the rig. So awesome. Well, listen, thank you for hopping on, guys. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later. If you have any question, hit me up in Discord or on IG. And yeah, have a great day. Have a great week trading. And just remember, listen, play the continuation move, play the pullback. It's that simple, right? So thanks for hopping on. I'll catch everybody later. Have a great one.